No charges will be filed against a driver who crashed into a living room in Edinburg.
It happened a week ago today. No one was hurt, but going to show you now the aftermath and what it looked like. Okay, right now we don't have that video, but we're told people living in that home did not have renter's insurance. The driver of the truck did, but it doesn't cover everything.
So where does that family go from here? Here's Taylor Winkle.
Right now, life is pretty chaotic for Anita Weaver's family after a truck crashed into their Edinburg home.
My grandkids are upset, and it's just a lot of problems. You know, you have to look for another place to live.
The driver of that truck had insurance. State law requires at minimum insurance must cover $25,000 in property damage. In the last week, the driver's insurance company settled with Weaver's daughter for $3,500.
That $3,500 was just for the sofa that they lost.
That money doesn't replace all the smaller items that were ruined. And on top of it, the family still needs to find a place to live.
They could have got like a rent or something for a month until they found something. I'm pretty sure his insurance could have paid for that.
In this situation, they have to depend on the insurance from the driver who's responsible for the accident and possibly even the property owner because they didn't have renter's insurance.
Certainly having a renter's policy would have helped in this situation.
Abraham Padron with Safeguard says it's a common problem he wishes he didn't see.
Unfortunately, less than 20% of the people out there that lease properties or that rent have insurance, have renter's insurance.
He says that could be because of state laws. Oftentimes, homeowners insurance is bought because it's required by the mortgage company. We buy liability car insurance because it's required by the state of Texas. But most people who rent aren't required to get a renter's policy. They run anywhere from $200 to $700 a year, depending on what you own. And in this case, it could have paid for a hotel stay while the family figures out where to move.
We want to indemnify you, and that means we want to take you back to where you were before you had your accident.
Weaver says the settlement her daughter took wasn't equal compensation for what the driver ruined. But it's not too late for an adjustment.
When you take a settlement and you say, this is my settlement, this is it, a lot of times insurance companies in this situation will come up and say, here's a certain amount of money, let's take care of this, but you can always ask for a supplement. And a supplement is a change.
Still, things could have been way worse.
My son could have easily been killed. If he hadn't come to eat breakfast with me and my dad, my son would have been sitting on that couch and he would have been dead.
Reporting in Edinburg, Taylor Winkle, Channel 5 News at 5.
And again, charges were not filed against the driver. Edinburg police tell us the accident is classified as an accident with no injuries. According to Assistant Chief Oscar Trevino, officials believe the driver was distracted, but there was no evidence of him being under the influence or on drugs.